I think
Yeah,
it was so
I was
messy.
curious about the development of the vocal and instrumental, and was it simultaneous over the years, or did one develop before the other? In
As
the
in,
Drupad, in this style of playing.
you mean in the duet?
No,
separate.
otherwise, whether like Rudra,
Over-
Veena, and sound came pen and then.
See,
vocal.
historically speaking, no, let the other. What I have learned and understood is that every instrument has had a history of it being, it comes from the voice. Any instrument, if you see for that matter, will always come from a background of trying to imitate, trying to bring about some, unanimity with the voice. So that's what I have understood.
On the contrary, because there is also another school of thought, is that why then Bharat Muni needed Veena. So Chote Guruji, our Acharya Ramakant Gundaji, I asked this question almost 15 years ago. So he told me, according to him, and also in symposium he said, it is not his thought, but it's history, that human body came first, so that is known as Gatra Veena. And to measure that Gatra Veena, Rudra Veena has been developed by Rishi's realization. Rudra Veena concept is based on realization of old Rishis. So, for as example, Rudra Veena style was not so popular among the Shishya Kul, means those who used to play, their son, and not even other than son, females are also prohibited to play. That is a different question. But so then Surbhar came into existence. I am connecting the Surbhar with this because so those techniques have been imbibed by Surbhar, and the tarab strings were taken from Sarangi, so that to make that Rudra Veena is not an instrument to play in concerts. It was a chamber music. It is made for, because the sound is tiny. So to make that sound, that embellishment more prominent, Surbhar came into existence. And as far as your question is concerned, what I can say that it's not my saying, it's the history or the treatise was saying that the voice was there, and to measure the microtones and nuances, Rudra Veena came into existence. So both the things are necessary, and both the things develop simultaneously. So what Dhani said is also true, that vocal style, it is the oldest thing, but later on both instrumental and vocal style developed, and in Dagar Gharana, instrumental style have been imitated by vocalists. Just opposite. That's why I told contrary on the contrary.
Yes. Like our teachers also, they were studying under Ustad Zia Mohiuddin Dagar Sahab, who was a very big stalwart of Rudra Veena, and he used to teach on the Veena, and then they would imitate what he played on the Veena. So it happened then the other way around as well.
Any another question?
Ma'am, what are the antecedents of Drupad before Tansen and succeeding Tansen right up to modern times? Who all have been great exponents or
Like Haridas Dagur was there.
Dagur Haridas.
up to modern times?
Before
Between
Tansen
and
Tansen learned from Haridas Dagur.
Yes. Tansen ji's guru was Rishi. He was a Rishi Haridas, and he used to do majorly, devotional compositions. He used to do, his form of music was bhakti, and before that, before the present day of the present form of Drupad that we see, we have seen, like, you would have heard of Mia Tansen, and there were other Nayaks like Nayak Bhikshu, Nayak Charju, and we don't know of many women Drupad singers, but I'm sure there would have been, but not been recorded. So yeah, they were Nayak Bhikshu and Nayak Charju.
Nayak Bakshu were also not recorded.
No, there composition.
but
Yes.
the tune has been oblivion now.
Yeah,
Yes.
the composition.
But the thing is that this style which Haridas Tagorji developed to teach Tansen, it is believed. These are all anecdotes. So before Tansenji, Haridas Tagore was there, and his style came into being as Dagarwani. This is also school of thought.
And ma'am, how is this connected with Haveli Sangeet?
Haveli Sangeet, it majorly happened, it's again a bhakti tradition that does upasana and bhakti of Lord
Pushti
Krishna.
Marg.
Yes. And they have mainly only devotional, like my father.
There is no direct linkage.
No, this Haveli Sangeet influences by Drupad.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
It
Yeah,
is
influences by
part of the Drupad compositions like
That's why
that we
in
sing.
Haveli Sangeet used to Tal Dhamar, Chautal,
Yes.
and used to Pakhavaj. In same style.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
have a question. In the creation of music and percussion, where percussion becomes a natural accompaniment over a period of time, what was the ancient history starting from Samaveda? Because the music came from Samaveda. Samaveda was the creator of music, but the Samaveda is sung in a musical form. And then we have the known history of music in India, which came from various rishi. Is it not natural for a bhakti aspect to become musical over a period of time? So it's very, very ancient. I don't think there is a timeline which you can find out. It should be according to creation. And as far as I know, the creation itself came from Nada.
Yes.
The proposition of manifested universe is from the sound.
Yes.
And there is scientific evidence of that. Some of those frequencies still linger in the universe, which you can tap. So the sound, music, creation is all in harmony.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is. And from this music, as I was saying in the beginning, it has come from the Samved, which then developed into what was called as the Prabandh Gayan. After Samgan, it came in the form of Prabandh Gayan. But Prabandh Gayan was, as we have learned, would start like from one point and end on. So like it's like a novel, it's like a poem. Starts on one point, ends at another. It doesn't come back. So the concept of coming back to the first stanza, the concept of circularity, it first developed in Drupad style of music.
By Kavi Jayadev. Kavi Jayadev.
Yeah.
So the previous question, one thing coming to my mind, this Pushti Margi Sampradaya, Haveli Sangeet is a mixture of Drupad style and folk music. So in there, the sanctity of the rag in Shastric value, they don't maintain, but their influence, that is also a sort of classical music, that music influenced the Vishnupur Gharana. Actually, those who were coming from there to Puri, Jagannath Dham for Tirtha Kshetra, so they used to stay near Vishnupur. And Vishnupur, the localites used to learn from them. That's why the Ragdari, which Pushti Margi Sampradaya has, is very same, not similar, the same we find. This one thing came to my mind, that's why I...
Probably naive but technical question now. So, apart from basically it's a two-part question. So first is apart from the difference that in Khayal Murkis will be there, Drupad Murkis will not be there. What are the other differences? Number one. Number two is just wanted to understand a little bit more about. I have heard a little bit, but a little bit more that how from Drupad the Khayal style of singing evolved.
Your question is very hard, but one thing I should say that I was playing sitar for a couple of years previously, and I have learned dedicatedly, and it is also school of thought. So I was thinking that I can play surbahar very easily. So easily, when I made my surbahar, I used to play very easily. My techniques were all little bit on the mark, but what I learned from Guruji, their father and uncle, that this whole music you have to learn separately. If you learn sitar and play surbar, for example, this is also your answer to a question, that the embellishments, the kan, because you will not find the term kan in old treaties. So this kan came to Khyal style. This Khyal style is a different style, very good, and this Drupad style is different because it is based much on intonation, the Swarasthan, and various aspects are there, but Swarasthan and Shruti, these two things you can show on Rudraveena. And that concept we use, vocalists use in their style, instrumentalists use, even all other instruments they use. So this austere style became extinct after a couple of period of time. Many things happened, but what I observed in my life till that is that I had to unlearn many things, and to learn, I had to imbibe. By God's grace, little bit I had imbibed from start to end, starting point to end point. So you cannot, if you play sitar style, like for example, if I was playing like dara 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 dara, this thing is in khyal also. But what vocalists do, we use that technique, but what we produce is Drupad style.
Very rightly pointed out by Dada. We don't pay much attention on the ornamentation. Yes, Drupad has a lot of different kind of ornamentations, like we do the gamak as you were saying, and there is the kan, there is a lot of use of mead, there is the hodak that goes oh wala, and same way coming down. So there are different kinds of ornamentations that have been written down also. Other than that, Drupad Sangeet is more going into the depth of sound and the depth of sur. So this is why the experience of the tanpura along with the voice or the instrument becomes very important, because there are many rags which will have a Shuddha re, which will many have Komal re, many have the same Arohan and Avrohan. But how do you then distinguish what is the Swar Bhed? How are you distinguishing the two rags which have the same Aro and Avro? That's because we are looking at the frequencies. We're going deep into sound, into the Swar Samvad with the Tanpura. That's how Drupad stands apart, and that's what gives it a very meditative quality.
What is the difference between Drupad and Dhamar?
The difference is that Drupad is more on meditative composition, and Drupad composition based on nature, the quality of nature, Dev Devi Stuti, and Dhamar is Sringar Rasatmak composition. It is not only 14-bit, तो ये सब बहुत हिस्ट्री है इसका, चटचपुट, हाँ वो धम बोल के जो माने आज हम जो ये ताल सुनते हैं ना, धातित धा दातित तातित तातित, नहीं, ये ताल से धामार का उत्पत्ति हुआ है. और धामार का वो जो स्टाइल है वो बेसिकली अगर मोटा मोटा समझना चाहे, apparently it is based on Sringar Ras, and this Drupad is based on Bhakti Ras.
एक मिनट और एक लास्ट वाला है उनका है.
ये क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी आ गया.
अच्छा और एक है.
It would be pretty nice, but I wanted to know that are there any dance forms which are performed on these on Drupad, and how has that kind of progressed from vocals to instruments and the
Are you a dancer?
Yeah, I've learned Kathak. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, a lot of collaborations are happening, and even our Gurujis, they have collaborated with Bharatnatyam dancers, and and a lot of Kathak dancers and Bharatnatyam dancers, they are using actually.
Kathak has Dhamar as a very
Oh yes,
important
Kathak,
part
of course,
of-
yes.
of
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
And
that,
it is accompanied by the Pakha.
and there is Pakhavaj accompaniment with the Kathak. That is again, in between I think we lost that thing of Pakhavaj being present with Kathak on stage, but I think it has come back with a lot of young Pakhavaj players who are wanting to go out, and so it has come back, and the Drupad collaborations have also come back to stage. So that's a very good.
Dani ji,
The embellishments and the intonation, you can't skip, you have to wait for some microsecond. So Bharatanatyam dancer or in some aspect of Kathak, they also have to wait. They have to do some sort of mudra with that. So in that there is this similarity is very important. Yeah.
मेरा सवाल है कि a lot of times it is said that Drupad is being revived. जैसे कभी न्यूज़ में भी आर्टिकल आता है तो Drupad is revived. Why is this verb used with Drupad की revival है, revival कर रहे हैं? मतलब मुझे तो ये लगता है कि जो आपका इतना मतलब we are still rooted in our traditions, तो इसमें revive वाला word हम क्यों इस्तेमाल करते हैं?
I think maybe Dada knows more, but I think at one point during the 90s, in 1950s, early 80s, yeah, early 80s and 70s, there was
Some void.
yes, there was a kind of a void where you wouldn't. I mean, yes, there were greats still living, but maybe Drupad was not able to reach the kind of stages that the platforms that Khayal did, and it was increasingly being attached to the thought that it is very niche, not everybody can understand. It's not like that. Drupad is equally as much for everybody to listen and enjoy and learn, and so that's what.
One thing what Dhani said is correct. Drupad's style was going under oblivion. But what happened when Guruji, their father and uncle, his father and uncle, our Gurujis, they revived the vocal style of music in early 80s or mid 80s, I can say. And previously they were Ustads and Pandits, but they were not performing on festivals like Doval Lane, etc. So this style was not at all popular. So the public domain was missing. I told you that Rudravina player used to teach their son, not even daughter-in-law. So that's why this style was not very popular. So our
Also
Guruji.
because for a long time it was not going out of the family. It was Ustad Zia Fariduddin Dagar Sahab and Ustad Zia Mohiuddin Dagar Sahab who started teaching it outside of the family. So that's one major reason of.
And again, one thing I want to tell that if you read one very good book, Sitar and Sorrows of 20th century, so the research work has been there that during 1905 or 10, all Rudravina players, they were not capable to play Drupad on Rudravina because they were been suffering with monetary problem, not getting concerts. So they had changed their style. So some Surbar player were there who maintained this style. So Surbar player, from Surbar player again Rudravina got some sort of inspiration and training, and it came it became popular. But the problem is that those concerts, festivals which were occurring, one or two Ustad used to perform, not the Shishya Vrind. They were not getting the opportunities. So it is not to highlight our Guruji's caliber, but it is true that due to our Guruji, we the Shishya, we are getting some opportunity, we are performing here and there. It is, I think, because in Kolkata also I didn't got much opportunity to learn Dagar style. So that's why I can say that due to our Guruji's contribution, this Drupad style has been re-established in mid-80s, and now it's going. Thank you.
तो
I don't know whether my understanding is correct or not. I'll just share my understanding. like we have different vocal cord, correct? Human is the most complex vocal cord, I believe. So, but in my understanding, Dhrupad focus on most like simple, pure, like it could, like from say frog, froggy, so they can also make sound. So vocal basically focus on more on a vowel side, like not complex sound. So usually when in Dhrupad Gharana sing any song or any raga, that doesn't have more gimmick or like complex sound, but it is pure meditative sound. Mostly based on vocal side, I mean vowel side of the swara. So some people doesn't get that attracted to the purity of that.
No, that is not the question, because in Surbahar, if I do fast dance and murkis, it will be bhogas, because instrument is not made like that. It is tuned to low pitch and strings are also attached like that. In sitar, I can do these embellishments because it is the subject of sitar. That is the Khyal style. You cannot play Dhrupad on sitar. That is why this instrument is there. Rudravina is there. Susringa is there. So this, what your question is that this basic sound, what you are producing, but there are many other facets of that sound which you have to learn from a teacher, learned person, so that you can do samvad with the Tanpura, and with that purity, with that pure sound, people will get attracted. This is a meditation.
Yes, that is what
Yes.
I mean. That is what I was trying to say. That
No, your question is correct, but the thing is that people are not getting attracted. Means attraction does not come from this mere establishment, embellishment. Like pa. I was teaching Bihar. Pa ga sa ma. This is Dhrupad style. Ma pa ga ma ga. People will get attracted with this. No. So learning is most important. If you learn from a realized guru, then you will achieve something. That much I can say.
वाह, आप सब लोगों ने जो है बहुत अच्छे सवाल पूछे और धानी जी और दादा ने बहुत अच्छे जवाब दिए। अब हम आगे की तरफ बढ़ते हैं क्योंकि ऑलरेडी 10 मिनट हम लोग लेट हैं, है ना? तो सबके बारे में बातचीत हुई, पखावज के बारे में कुछ बातचीत नहीं हुई। लेकिन मैं भी संगतकार हूँ, वैसे श्रम के बिना पूरा नहीं कर पाऊँगा, तिहाई के बिना तो पूरा नहीं कर पाऊँगा। मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा अच्छा सवाल शिवप्रिया जी का लगा और उम्मीद करते हैं कि ऐसी सोच रखने वाले यंगस्टर्स आज ध्रुपद फुल टाइम कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल सजन शंकरन बैंगलोर के हैं, IIT पास आउट है। IIT पास आउट होने के बाद इन्होंने ध्रुपद करने के लिए वो एक जोश दिखाया और आज बहुत अच्छी तरीके से कर रहे हैं। तो जो आपका सवाल है वो इसमें अब बदलाव आना शुरू हुआ है। तो हम पखावज की तरफ आते हैं। बहुत पुराना इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, मैं ज़्यादा समय बिल्कुल नहीं लूँगा, 2 मिनट में हम लोग ख़त्म कर देंगे बिल्कुल। तो बहुत पुराना इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, ऋषि मुनियों ने इसको बनाया है। इसके बहुत सारी कहानियाँ हैं। भगवान शंकर जी से रिलेट आता है, गणेश जी से रिलेट आता है। बहुत सारे पखावज वादक हैं, शंकर जी, गणेश जी, अर्जुन, इंद्र, रावण, स्वामी विवेकानंद और ज्ञानेश्वर देशमुख। बहुत लंबी यात्रा इस इंस्ट्रूमेंट ने की है, बहुत लंबी यात्रा की है। सो
फ्रॉम योगी टू गृहस्थ।
तो इसका एक ही मैं पॉइंट आपको बता के, जो दोनों साइड है इसके लेफ्ट और राइट, ये जैसे आप समझ रहे हैं कि ये ताल प्रधान इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, इसमें ताल और लय प्रोड्यूस किया जाता है। तो तकारो शंकरो प्रोक्ता लकारो पार्वती स्मृता, तो ये तांडव नृत्य और लकार नृत्य से दोनों की ता और लय, इस शब्द को संधि करके ताल शब्द की उत्पत्ति हुई है। तो इसकी बनावट में भी वो चीज़ें दिखाई देती है कि जो राइट साइड की जो स्किन है वो गोट, फीमेल गोट का जो गले वाला हिस्सा है उससे बनता है ना? और जो लेफ्ट साइड वाला जो हिस्सा है वो मेल गोट के गले के हिस्से से बनता है, पर्टिकुलर चमड़ा है उसके लिए ऐसा। और तो ये मेरा रियलाइजेशन है कि ये शिव शक्ति का संवाद है। तो जो शिव शक्ति का संवाद है, इसमें शक्ति भी ज़्यादा बातचीत करेगी तो चलेगा नहीं, और शिव जी भी ज़्यादा बातचीत करेंगे तो चलेगा नहीं। तो दोनों का एक संवाद है, एक बैलेंसिंग है। और ये बैलेंसिंग उस समय से प्रबंध गायन के बाद जब ध्रुपद डेवलप हुआ, वहाँ से ये पखावज और ध्रुपद का एक अलग संवाद और ये शिव शक्ति के बैलेंसिंग के साथ इसको सजाया गया है, पिरोया गया है और ये करते आ रहे हैं। तो 2-2.5 घंटे से शिव शक्ति ने बहुत संवाद करते हुए हम लोगों को जठराग्नि भी जागृत कर दिया है। तो आपके 2 मिनट लेने के लिए मैं माफ़ी चाहता हूँ और थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग और अप्रिशिएट आवर म्यूजिक। थैंक यू सो मच।
What a morning we have had today. Before we close, I would like to express my thanks to many of you who have made this happen. Parul, who is always with the poster. Sajanji, who has been helping out with the program, and of course Shivpriya and that is given Shivpriya and Abhinav for hosting this in such a beautiful fashion. And yeah, I'm sure I'm missing out a few names, and we would like to also thank our the prime sponsors of this initiative. Kavita was here. Sastif Foundation is always ready and eager to support us on these benefits, and because of them we have had so many benefits. So thank you, Kavita. And we would like to express our gratitude to our esteemed artist today, Dhani ji. Shri Sarvapata. Dhaneshwar ji. Jagannath ji. Abhishek ji. Sorry, Vignesh ji. Sorry, Vignesh ji. Thank you everyone for this wonderful morning, and we can have lunch now.